Would you buy a cake and you didn't know what the ingredients was? So if I don't know what somebody's policy is, why is that so hard? Nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking. What's the policies? What are you running on? What are you talking about? What are you going to do for the community? What are you going to do for the community? That's what I'm saying. Would you buy a cake and you didn't know what was in the cake? Oh, well, hey, this is a damn good cake. Well, what's in it? I don't know. I'm not. Dog, if I don't know nobody's policies, I'm not going there.
Now being called out for a new tactic of avoiding questions from reporters by wearing earbuds. The move sparking outrage on social media, with one ex-user writing, quote, "An American hostage gets killed and she literally is trying to block out questions about it. Unreal." Steamboat Institute Blankley Fellow and Restoring America editor at the Washington Examiner, Kaylee McGee-White, joins me now. Kaylee, great to see you as always. Yet she's applying for a job, Kaylee, where you can't just pop in the earbuds when she or Putin threatens you. What's going on here?
Yeah, my favorite part about this, Todd, was when she had the wired-in earphones in, and at one point when she was walking up the stairs to the plane, she held her phone up to her ear as if she was taking a phone call, when it was very clearly that she already had earbuds in. The whole thing doesn't make sense. But this is her strategy. It's to continue to dodge the press, avoid hard questions about her record, and refuse to give them answers to the American people. And I think we can reliably expect her not to do a single sit-down interview after her disastrous one with CNN this past week. But think about the precedent this sets. If you're allowed to run a campaign on just vibes and not policies, if you're allowed to continue to dodge questions from the press, if you're allowed to not provide a single substantive policy for the American people, then how are we as voters going to evaluate you and give you our mandate to serve as our representative in the White House? And this is what Kamala Harris seems to forget. That yes, the president is a public servant on behalf of the American people, and yet she is doing every single thing that she can to make herself unavailable to the people right now.
It's such an important point that you made. That's really the 30,000-foot view, but specifically with regard to the events over the weekend. Is this her latest attempt to kind of avoid the Israel-Hamas situation, especially when it hits ahead like it did this weekend, in order to avoid upsetting Minnesota and Michigan? Just don't take an opinion on anything, and you can't offend anybody, Kaylee.
Absolutely, but the problem is that she is tied to the Biden administration's disastrous record on foreign policy, this weekend being just the latest in a very long list of examples of how America's lack of leadership on the world stage has jeopardized American lives. And I say this as someone whose brother serves in the Navy very proudly. I do worry about him if Kamala Harris were to take over as commander-in-chief, and I'm sure that there are a lot of other military families out there who feel the exact same way.
I have heard that exact same sentiment issued by so many military families, Kaylee. Meantime, Kamala's Biden balancing act on full display in Pennsylvania. Campaign plans to use Biden in Rust Belt states, but Politico says, quote, deploying Biden represents both an opportunity and a risk. Biden remains an unpopular president. Harris's strategy of campaigning alongside Biden, even if carefully, is a gamble. A majority of voters think